Today, I wanted to introduce you to a new friend in our class. Well, this, Huckleberries, is my friend Nash. So Nash, just like me, is non-binary. So they aren't sure if they're a boy or a girl. So when people ask them, are you a boy or a girl? Right now they just feel like saying, I'm a kid. They're figuring it out.
Brian, it's 2022. There's no such thing as a boy anymore, or a girl. Just a vast sea of chubby theys and thems, so coddled by their sanctimonious woke parents who think activism is virtue signaling on Instagram. If Martin Luther King could come back and see what they were doing in his name, he'd never stop throwing up.
This video is brought to you by The Officer Tatum Store. The Officer Tatum Store. Get the merch link in the description section. Ladies and gentlemen, I want you to know that we have 50% off all of our items that are on the clearance items. Let me show you the items that are on there. You got to take advantage of this before it's too late. Fathers Matter is on there. Fathers Matter hoodies, the Don, all of our favorite stuff. We're doing 50% off just for you. And also we have the premium line that I just started. Support the premium line. If you buy one of these premium jackets, you'll get a book signed absolutely free. We'll put it in the mail when you get the product. So all of these new items, go ahead and get it now and pre-order some of this new stuff if you're interested in some of our new items. Like and subscribe to the channel. Hit the bell so you get notification anytime I go live, make a video. Make sure you subscribe to the channel, like this video, comment on this video, share this video. Let's get into this. I talk about this every day. I was talking about it in the first segment. But the grooming of young children is crazy to me. And that's why I love DeSantis, because he had made mention they're trying to push an AP curriculum into the school system in Florida and using children, you know, using the manipulation of children. Well, let me say, using Black history as an avenue to promote queer studies and the manipulation of children and radicalization of children into being these Black. I mean, I won't say Black because they want the white kids to believe in it too. But coming up with this ideology that Black people are somehow under the thumb of the white man, talking about queer and transgender intersectionality, all this bull crap that have nothing to do with Black history. They want to use that as a guise to force this ideology onto children. Ron DeSantis called it out and said, not in my state. However, I want to give you an example, because I'm not just saying this because I woke up one day and decided to be on one side of this argument. Let me let you listen to what's going on in the classroom. I think we have the film ready. Roll the film.
Huckleberries, today I wanted to introduce you to a new friend in our class. Well, this, Huckleberries, is my friend Nash. It's their first day in our class. They're just looking around at all of you, and they're so curious to know who you all are.
Today was fun. It was really interesting, though, knowing going in, being like, I don't know what questions kiddos are going to have or what they're going to say, which is both like nerve-wracking, but also kind of exciting. It's that place of not knowing as a teacher and just being okay with that.
And the friend likes to ask the question, are you a boy or a girl? And Nash answers, I'm just a kid.
But kids can be boys or...
They can be boys or girls.
Or
Yeah.
Or maybe non-binary.
Yeah.
It was just like non-binary, yeah. That's just something that we know. And this is something, I mean, it's like, they're 4 and 5 years old, and they just didn't make a big deal out of being a boy or a girl.
And I think it was a huge testament to how much we've been talking about it in the classroom that you never mentioned the term non-binary. It was a child who brought that up because it's constantly in conversation.
Yeah, just like me. So Nash, just like me, is non-binary. So they aren't sure if they're a boy or a girl. So when people ask them, are you a boy or a girl? Right now they just feel like saying, I'm a kid. They're figuring it out.
Why does he like stars?
They like stars.
They like stars.
Yeah. And they are
why did
really.
you wear a star shirt?
They wore their star shirt because it's their favorite shirt, and because they were nervous today, they thought they would wear something that makes them feel special.
It's interesting that her and the other sloppy women on that panel decided to say that, oh, that was funny how the kid just came up with the concept on his own. No, it's not. The lady, for those of you who listen on the radio and you can't see the visual, the lady is holding a black doll and got him dressed up in a very confusing manner and presented him to children and said, if you ask him, and I'm paraphrasing, if he's a boy or girl, he said, I'm not neither of them, or I don't know. And then some other parent who's woke teaching her kid about non-binary. And that's why the kid comes up with it. The first kid said they can be boy or girl. It's, you're confusing the living daylights out of these kids. And to some people, that's totally fine. It makes total sense for you to put a kid out in a position like that. For you to go and come up with these concepts that adults are coming up with. Kids are not organically talking about non-binary. They don't even know they don't even know what that means. That's not a concept or a word that a kid will come up with. It's adults that are doing this. And then you're I would say, suggesting that kids are coming up with this, or kids are having this idea in their mind that it's a good thing that they've been exposed to this. No, it's stuff that adults, confused, mentally ill adults come up with, and they force it on children. Then they have these children confused. It is very, very bizarre to me at what's going on. And I thank God for men like Ron DeSantis. I don't know a governor, and I just may not have the information, but I don't know of a governor that's standing up as firm to this cultural war as Ron DeSantis in Florida. I don't know of another governor. I mean, he is on top of it. You ain't teaching this to our kid. That's not approved curriculum. You're not finna brainwash kids at this school. You're not finna teach first through or kindergarten through third graders about transgenderism. You're not gonna do that in the state of Florida. If you want to go move to Seattle somewhere or Washington State, Oregon, move then. You're not doing that in Florida. Every governor in the union who claimed to be a Christian should be thinking of the same thing. I mean, every decent person, forget Christianity. If you're just a decent person, you should be similar to Ron DeSantis and taking a stand, because it is a slippery slope. They want to indoctrinate the kids young so they can control them as adults. That's simply what this is. If these people were impartial, they would not be teaching kids about this stuff. They'll wait till they're older and they're more mature, and they can digest the information that's coming in a more reasonable fashion. There's no way that a kid understands non-binary. Adults don't even understand that. You go down a rabbit hole very quickly. Well, you're not a boy or a girl. Okay. What does that even mean? Let's go back in history. Tell me how many people in history were non-binary. The first human being found, are you going to classify them non-binary? That's not a biological truth. That's a subjective mindset that is irrelevant. Nobody cares what you identify as. When your bones get dug up, they're going to do a DNA test on you. They're going to look at your bones. I mean, they're going to go and do an extraction of your bones, or however they figure out your DNA. And they're going to say, or they can even look at your pelvis and look at other bone structures and say, this was a man. This was a woman. That's why this tribe exists, because this was actually the king and queen of this tribe. There was this many men and this many women. This many men had this many wives. They can go through methodically and figure out recreate an entire society with what? Biology, science, and facts. They can't do that with somebody's subjective thoughts. I don't identify as anything. Shut up. When they dig your bones up, they're gonna look and see what your DNA are. You're either a boy or a girl, male or a female. That's all. There ain't nothing else to it. You're either gonna get that prostate check or you're gonna go to the OBGYN. One of the two things gonna happen, brother. There ain't no such thing as a non-binary in medicine. You're gonna have to go do something. You can't go to an OBGYN and they expecting to check your Wahoo and you got something else down there. That ain't gonna happen, bro. They gonna kick you out of there. You're not finna go and to a doctor and act like you pregnant and act like you on your period. It's not serious. You just in make-believe world. And I say this like I say 1,000 times. It's okay to be in make-believe world. You live in America. Make believe all you want. But one, don't create the confusion in children. And two, don't make me have to make believe with you. Do you on your own terms. So I thought I had to, I thought it was invaluable for me to throw that out there so you guys can see how ridiculous these people are. But back to Ron DeSantis, that AP curriculum obviously is being denied and attempted to be thwarted by other representatives in the state of Florida. And you have to then ask yourself, why are they trying to reject the concept of separating queer studies out of Black history? I just want to put this together. Was Martin Luther King a queer study, transgender, non-binary? No, he was not. Was Muhammad Ali a transgender, non-binary? No, he was not. Malcolm X? No, he was not. You want to go to Booker T. Washington? No, he was not. Frederick Douglass? No, he was not. Madam C.J. Walker? No, she was not. You want to go down the list? And I have my opinions about Langston Hughes and some others. Paul Ernst Dunbar, Langston Hughes. Do you want to go down the list? Were they non-binary, transgender? No, they wasn't. They weren't. They were normal people. If they were non-binary nut jobs, and I'm not saying every person that want to be non-binary is a nut job, but what I'm saying is that the theology is just outside of the context of reality. But if they were that confused, they'd be confusing everybody. You can have no women's rights if you don't have women. How you gonna have women's suffrage and y'all non-binary? Come on, man.